Hi there, I'm Christian Taylor, and this is practice number 7. Today I'd like to talk to you about the G major scale and those same old darn chords that I've been talking to you about for several lessons now. This is the 7th installment, so 6 other lessons we've been talking about the G major scale and the chords that you derive from it. I veered off the path a little bit in practice number 6 and talked about gear. I was talking about how to create a pad. I hope that was useful to some of y'all. Right now, I'd like to show you the letters of the G major scale. You have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. One sharp in this scale. I hope you can see that all right. At this point, I'm going to put this back up at the end of my talk here, and you should get yourself a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. Probably a good idea to even start a notebook if you're really going to learn this stuff. So G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Then it starts all over. It's basically the alphabet from A to G is what you have to know to understand music theory. A tiny bit of math involved. It's also very rudimentary. When it's put to you in the right way, you'll understand it no problem, and it'd be a big help to you in your musical life. So right now, get a pen, paper, write this down. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, back to G. Like I said, it's the alphabet from A to G. If you write those down, I want you to label them 1 through 7, starting with the G as 1 and the F sharp as 7. Label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We label them that way because that's what they are the scale degrees. And the reason that's important is because when you take the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th of the G major, you get the notes G, B, and D. That's a G major triad. When you take the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th from the A scale, if you start on A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, back to A, and you take the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th from that sequence, you get an A minor. If you do the same thing on the B, you get a B minor chord. In case you haven't guessed it, we're going to end up with G, C, D, E minor, A minor, B minor, bar chord. We were talking about bar chords a little bit. Maybe we'll get to that today somewhere. One diminished chord, F sharp diminished, which really resolves nicely back to the G. So listen to that. So in that F sharp diminished chord, lots of tension in there. It's a very unsettled chord. And then the G, very resolved, very consonant, we would say. So what I want you to do is I want you to write out the scales. Start with G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Label those 1 through 7. All right, and then start with the A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, back to the A. Write 1 through 7 underneath there. When it gets to the end of the scale and the same letter comes up again, that's labeled an 8th. Don't really have to write that down right now, and some of this will take a little while to sink in. Some of it's very easily. Some of the wider implications are take a little longer to sink in, but don't worry about it at all. Don't get hung up on the Greek names. If you just start playing G, C, D, E minor, A minor, B minor, and F sharp diminished, if you just start playing them, you'll get the sound in your head. And I'm sure when you want to understand the modes, you'll be able to hear it. They're explained in a whole bunch of different ways. Some people get very confused by it. When it's time for you to start learning that, you'll be able to hear it. So don't worry about that. So you start on G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you start on A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. Then you start on B, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, so on and so forth for all of them. And you'll derive 7 series of notes. Each of those series is a what's called a mode. The major scale is called the Ionian mode. It's all Greek names. It's been that way for a long time. Not going to get into the why right now. You'll have Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. And then it's back to the 8th note, which is the first note. That's the octave, 8 octave. So you'll end up with, you might want to write this down too. If Dora plays like me, all's lost. If Dora plays like me, all's lost. It's a funny little saying to remember Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and then you're back to because the first letter in each of those words is hit on, and if Dora plays like me, all's lost. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian, then you're back to the G. G major scale would start all over again, G major in this case. That's why we call, like G to B, for instance, an interval is a relationship between 2 notes. So G to B, if you can see on your guitar, maybe you can see on my guitar, I hope, I'm playing G, and then B note, G on the low E string, B note on the A string, 2nd fret, and then the D is open, so you have the whole triad there, but just the G to the B, that's known as a third, because it's 1, 2, 3 major scale steps away from one another. If you add the D, G, B, D, then you have a triad. And the whole G major chord is just repeatings of those notes. Same thing with the C, that's derived from the C, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. If you take the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th from the C, Lydian scale, which is